Good morning. This is Victor Jimenez with Sewerline Check Professionals. I'm here at 17637 Pelora Street in Encino, and I'm in the process of performing a video examination of the main sewer line. The main sewer line is the portion of the waste drainage piping which is exterior to the structure. It lies underground and connects the building drain line system to the public sewer. The building drain line system then is the portion or portions of the waste drainage piping which are underneath or interior to the structure. Today's video examination does not focus on the building drain line system. So if further evaluation is desired regarding the building drainline system, a licensed plumbing contractor should be contacted, or a specialty building drainline video examination can be set up through our office. Alright, so I've gone ahead and accessed the line from a 2.5-inch maintenance access here located on the right side of the building. And I've pushed through about, it's about 50 feet of the building drain line system, and then zeroed out the camera and followed the line another 70 feet. Now essentially we're right at the property line, right here at 73 feet, so we're right before the sidewalk, and essentially we can't get any further than the next couple of feet in front of us. I pulled back just to keep the camera clean for the visual, being able to see it, but you can see essentially all of these roots coming into the system here at this joint area. So this is very excessive root intrusion. We shouldn't be seeing this amount of roots into the system, and this amount of roots can create not only backup problems, but can actually create cracks or breaks within the pipe itself. So it's very important to get this cleaned out and inspected after those roots have been pulled away. Now, I want to describe something because what we have here is there's actually two exit points for the main sewer line for this house. What happens is that the, let's call it the primary line exits the building on the left-hand side under the carport, kind of extended, carport area. And I marked it out with a little bit of green marking paint exactly where the line comes out of the building. And that's what we would call the primary line. Now, we have an auxiliary line here, and what happens is the line basically comes out of the building on the right-hand side. So if you are standing in front of the front door and you turn and you're looking out towards the street, you're going to see it. Well, you're not going to see it, but it's coming out of the planter, essentially in the dirt under the planter. There's a line that's coming out, and then it's running across the driveway, across the front of the house, and connecting into that primary line that's running out towards the street. So we're only about 43 feet into this primary line. Essentially, we're there at the beginning of that carport, and it then starts heading diagonally towards that center gate in front of the fence area at the property line. All right. So essentially, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be coming from this access point, or from the property line that we're beginning our video from. We're going to be coming back to the connection point for the primary line, and then we're going to be running along the auxiliary line and then entering into some of the building drain system. Now, immediately I have a couple recommendations, and I'll cover that basically as we continue on our examination. But I'll start by saying that the pipe we're in right now is a section of vitrified clay. Now, vitrified clay is a very common material for main sewer lines. It has a long service life expectancy. However, it is more susceptible to damage during earthquakes and seismic activity, and it also has a tendency to let in roots at the joint areas. So while it does have a tendency to do that, it still doesn't negate the fact that these lines need to be cleaned out regularly. You can see here the amount of roots that have been left to just grow in the system. The current resident of the house says that they haven't had the line cleaned in at least 5 years, is what it sounded like from her. From what she said to me when I started this examination. So, again, we're looking at essentially a lot of pipe material. Got some pretty excessive and heavy roots in it. Alright, now, we are now leaving what we'll call the primary main sewer line. This is where it's coming out under the garage carport area. So at this point we're going to be running, the last 30 feet is going to be running essentially along the front of the structure, in front of the front door into that planter area. And we've now converted it into a section of cast iron pipe. Now, cast iron is a material which typically has a service life between 70 to 80 years on average. This cast iron pipe is very old and is at the end of its useful service life. What happens with the cast iron pipe, you'll have rust and scale buildup within the pipe, the bottom of the pipe will start to level off, and probably one of the final stages of deterioration in a line is when you have the bottom of the pipe start to rot away. So the reason that that bottom of the pipe is black is actually because it's rotting, and it's indicative of the line needing to be replaced. Now, technically the line is not broken just because it has that rot there. So there isn't necessarily an immediate concern with replacing it. However, we can safely say that it is at the end of its service life and that the line should be considered for replacement in the near future. I'm going to just try to run a little bit of water here just to try to keep the camera clean while we're doing this. Alright, so now at this point, we're entering into the building drain line system. Not the focus of my examination today, but I did pass through it, so I will comment. Again, what we're looking at right now is still this original cast iron pipe. There's a little bit of an issue here at about 6 feet. You can see the line is almost filling up with water. We shouldn't be seeing that in the line at all. Typically indicates an offset joint area. Okay, now at this point we've converted into a section of ABS plastic. Plastic is a versatile material for main sewer lines and for building drain line systems. Has a long service life expectancy. It also has a smooth inner surface which makes it very efficient at washing out debris. Lastly, there's no need to be impervious to lid intrusions. So overall, it's an excellent material. We have about 10 more feet here. We're just pulling out the clean out that we started from. So you can see here, we're on the right-hand side of the structure, and this is the clean out axis that we started from. It's got this hole right here with this plastic cap. We're going to go ahead and get a photograph of that for the report. So essentially my recommendation at this time is to get the line cleaned out, install 2 cleanouts, and I'll include the details of that in the report, but essentially it's going to be one in the planter and one under the garage port. And then after that, the line gets hydrojetted, and we come out here for a follow-up examination to look at the line under the street. Okay, so with that, I'm going to be wrapping up the video portion of the examination for today. Once again, this is Victor Jimenez with Sewer Line Check Professionals. Thank you very much, and have a pleasant day.